There's a heartbeat louder than thunder. Revolution is in the air. There's a heartbeat deep inside our mother. Are you too cool to care?
You've got it.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola Classic. Can't beat the real thing.
By Cook Inlet Region Incorporated, an Alaska Native corporation promoting economic and social progress for people throughout the state. By the generous support of the Alaska Native Health Board.
By the Alaska Commercial Company, Alaska's leading retailer of food, family apparel, and general Alaska merchandise since 1867.
Welcome to Heartbeat Alaska. I'm Jeannie Green, bringing you Native news across the North. Happy 4th of July and welcome to our news. On today's program, I'm taking you behind the scenes for just a minute or two. People magazine covered Heartbeat Alaska recently. We were lucky enough to get some video of the photographer as he worked. I thought it might be fun for you to see that. It certainly was fun for me and a lot of work. We'll have all that plus more villages today and lots of fun. But first, here's Gary Fife with Native news across the nation.
This is Native News Across the Nation. I'm Gary Fife. Interest in Native American religious practice and holy sites has grown among practitioners of New Age philosophies and some con men who advertise instant Native religious understanding for a price. Those practices have drawn fire from Native groups such as the American Indian Movement, the National Congress of American Indians, and other traditional Native societies. Recently, the site known as Bear Butte near Sturgis, South Dakota, has become crowded with visitors and New Age practitioners who are seeking their own vision quests. Local natives say the visitors are desecrating the mountain and interrupting legitimate Native religious practices. On June 21st, over 200 Lakotas showed up at a protest demonstration calling for the barring of tourists during Native religious practices and limiting access to certain sacred spots on the mountain. Bear Butte State Park officials have called the majority of Native demands unreasonable, saying they should not be determining who has access to the site and who should not. A new bill in the U.S. House of Representatives is aimed at allowing the highly successful for-profit Cook Inlet Regional Corporation, or CIRI as it's known, to buy back stock shares from Native shareholders. Currently, under the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, or ANCSA, shareholders may not sell their stock, but they can give it away to their children as inheritances. Under the bill by Alaska Senator U.S. Senator Frank Murkowski, all the Native shareholders must vote to approve the idea for the corporation to repurchase the shares and cancel them to provide more value for the Native stock. Native ownership of the corporation would continue to be protected. The bill is being looked at as a test case for other Native regional corporations. The American Indian Ritual Object Repatriation Foundation set the art world on its ear last year when founder Elizabeth Sackler purchased sacred Hopi artifacts and returned them to the tribe. Since that event, the foundation reports it's been gaining support. The New York City-based foundation is now sharing its news and directions through a newsletter and a video called Life Spirit. The group has been gaining financial support and a following among Americans who approve of their actions. This month, they're expecting the largest donation of materials in the foundation's history. The Fenton Historical Society of Jamestown, New York will be giving them the Everton Green collection of Indian artifacts. The Everton collection contains over 4,000 weapons points, bowls, and pipes and tools dating back as far as 5,000 years. The foundation hopes to return most of them, and those not repatriated will be donated to tribal museums and cultural centers. Like most of their peoples, California tribes and their cultures were nearly eliminated from the scene in their ancestral homes, but in the last few years, those cultures have been making strong comebacks, reviving and preserving nearly lost native skills. One that the tribes are famed for is the making of intricately woven baskets, some woven so tightly that they hold water. The San Francisco Chronicle reports the newly formed California Indian Basket Weavers Association just held its 4th annual gathering, and the group reports new interest among weavers and California tribes. The association is active, and its agenda includes preserving the raw materials they need to continue their art, and their voices are being heard. The U.S. Forest Service has been cooperating with the weavers to change some policies where they spray some pesticides. And finally, a dispute over who owns rare tribal artifacts and whether or not those pieces can be sold has been settled. A federal judge has signed an agreement that resolves the legal fight within the Tlingit tribe of the southeast Alaska village of Klukwan. The 10-year-old dispute started when some members of the Whale House had been solicited by a Seattle art dealer to sell 4 rare 160-year-old house posts and a screen belonging to that group. Under the new agreement, both sides will drop claims against each other in exchange for a return of the items, which are stored in a Seattle warehouse. A Tlingit tribal judge had ruled in favor of the village earlier this year, saying that removal of the pieces violated a tribal ordinance and tribal tradition. The artifacts will be temporarily held by the village until the clan decides their final placement. This is Native News Across the Nation. For Heartbeat Alaska, I'm Gary Fife.
There's a heartbeat coming up from deep down.
Thanks, Gary. Now don't go away. We'll have a few messages, then come back and see what powwows are going on all over the country.
There's a heartbeat.
I have a dog. He's a great dog, but he digs. Night and day and night and day, dig, 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 dig. My brother's dog, he's in commercials, makes a fortune. My neighbor's dog, 5 months old, comes on the first whistle. My dog, you whistle, he digs, but who cares? I have a car, it's a great car, but it stalls. Night or day, rain or shine, stall, stall, stall. My brother's car, modified V8, overhead cam, 32 valves, goes like a rocket. My sister's car, you turn the key, purrs like a kitten. My car, you turn the key, it stalls. But who cares?
From Yakutat to Barrow, Alaska newspapers publish news that makes a difference in your community. Information about events and activities that is timely, accurate, and dependable. Stories about people who make the news in your community. Stories about world events that affect your community. And stories that reflect the diversity of all Alaskans. If it makes a difference in your community, you can read about it in an Alaska newspaper. Subscribe now.
Let's take a look at some of the powwows that are happening. July is a very busy month all over the United States. Just take a moment, relax, and join us while we check out the powwows from all over the country. Thank you, Buzz Daney, for that beautiful intertribal song. Recently, People magazine came to the studios of Heartbeat, Alaska. They're going to do a story on us. Look for it in the next few weeks. While they were here, we decided to have a little fun and tape them while they took pictures of us.
And looking right here at the camera. I love it. Whoops, sorry.
I was looking the wrong way.
I was not plugged in.
People magazine photographer Phil Schofield worked very hard, but so did I, trying to cover up a swollen face. I had gone to the dentist that morning. Oh well, it could have been worse. People magazine is known for its creative pictures. They could have had me sitting on top of a makeshift igloo or perhaps riding into shore on the back of a whale. Think of the possibilities. One photo session had me Eskimo dancing with the native dance group on a lawn in the rain, as if I did this on my lunch hour.
Oh, I go back to New York every year to visit clients, and my theory was I used to work almost exclusively for National Geographic.
Phil Schofield travels the world working for People magazine. His next assignment was in Russia. He was here for 2 days, and when he left, I actually felt relieved, like we managed to avoid being too weird. Well, we'll see.
Should be pretty interesting to find out exactly what those pictures look like. Boy, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it. Let's travel now to English Bay, where one of my favorite groups are singing their hearts out, the English Bay Band.
Baby, baby, hold on to me. There's something here, girl, I do wanna see. Hold me close, my heart's warm desire. 'Cause this flight by night is something I don't wanna see. Into the night, when the moon is bright, I say here in my heart, I think we're dying, we're dying, we're dying, we're dying, we're dying. Baby, 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 oh, don't you see? Your love is so cold, girl, and I'm not to be. Hold me close, my heart's warm desire. 'Cause this Friday night is something I don't wanna see. Into the night, when the moon is bright, I say here in my heart, I think we're dying, we're dying, we're dying, we're dying, we're dying. Baby, 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 oh, don't you see? Love is so cold, girl, I hate to be
Thank you, Bobby Kvasnikoff and the rest of the group. Love the English Bay Band. Another band I absolutely, totally love are the Athabascan Fiddlers.
The gentleman's name was Tom Patsy, and like I said, he was an Athabascan trapper out of Nulato, and it was during the winter he had to snowshoe. Now this is what I was told by several people from Nulato that had been raised there, that he had to walk 90 miles on his snowshoes to his trapping cabin, and of course he had to leave his girlfriend in Nulato, and he was very lonely walking the 90 miles, and he made this song for his girlfriend, and there are other verses to it, several that I don't know. I just know what I've picked up from.
Real popular at dances?
It is really.
It is the most
always,
popular.
all over. It's all over the world now. It's been played, yeah. Yeah, Bill and I went to Washington, D.C. last year for 2 weeks, and it was requested. Every show that we did, it was requested three, 4 times a day.
I first met Francis in Mount Edgecombe native school
53.
back in 50s and 56, I guess, 53, yeah.
53.
And we've been friends ever since, you know. I was not in Alaska for about 22 years, but we kept in touch, and then when I moved back in 1983, Francis was there, and we were together. We've been friends all our life. And then in Mount Edgecombe, I was fooling around with a fiddle a little bit.
He was very good.
And then Francis
good
was singing and playing the guitar. And then we fooled around and we play and we had a good time, you know. And then we were almost hired by that Burleson one time.
Right.
Yeah, to do some commercials even then.
KIFW.
Yeah,
Wow.
But anyway, we've been, and then just in the recent years we've been together. We've been traveling around a lot of places. The biggest trip we made was the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, American Indian Music, and we combined.
This ain't no crazy dream.
On Mother's Day, Peter Twitchell sent me a beautiful song that he put together. Let's listen to it once again.
Sunset fades. Are we really here alone on the main street of the world? Relocated from our homes, and all that's real seems so far away. Tomorrow for yesterday, there's a heartbeat.
Thank you so much for joining me on another Heartbeat Alaska. If you have video in your community, please send it to me. Welcome once again to SCV-TV in Pablo, Montana on the Flathead Reservation. We're really glad to have you with us. In fact, if you're watching and you're a member of the reservation and you live in Pablo, Montana, in that area, please get out your camcorder. What I'm looking for is just video of the people there and how you live and who you are to share with the Canadian, Alaskan, Greenland, and Russian viewers. For Heartbeat Alaska, I'm Jeannie Green. Send me your video.
Speak too soon. You, one who knows better, to be sliding in and out of the enemy's closer. Ah, be careful now, not before it's her. There's a heartbeat louder than thunder. Revolution is in the air. There's a heartbeat deep inside our mother. Are you too cool to care? Oh, back in darkness.